YouTubers, and welcome to my mad world of playing around with old bikes. This one I done earlier on last year. Ever since doing it, I've really fancied doing another one, because generally it's all XLs. So I've been looking out for one. Hard to come by and very expensive, these bikes. So when this one turned up, meet Ruby. This is Ruby, which is a 1970 st50, which I've just bought. The bike, I don't know if it runs. The person I bought it off bought it, garaged it and left it. The person he bought it off, I think, had played around with it. He's painted the mud yards that are not really the best and been tinkering around with it. Now, a bit of history come with this bike, with one of its MOT's from 1977, and the actual mileage back then is actually done with the old MOT. It done 300 miles and then dropped off the system, wasn't used. So it's done 17,000 miles. And when it was last MOT'd, since then it done 300 miles and then was put away. But what are we going to do with it? Someone's played with it, we know that. The exhaust on it is not correct. It is actually for an SS50. Fine, things rot away, exhaust and stuff. There's nuts and bolts being changed on it, new ones. So the person who got it off the original person has played with it, which is always not good. You never know what's been done. So we're going to have a play with it. We don't know anything more than that. We don't know if it runs, anything. So let's get into it. Let's see what we can find out about it. But yeah, oh, Ruby, should be good fun. So first things, let's see if there's spark, and then move forward from there. Right, we've checked spark, we have spark. The fuel that's in it is actually stinking. So we'll get the fuel drained out of it. And I think the next thing to do is we'll whip the carb off and check the carb, because I don't want to be dragging crap through it if I can help it. So tank drained, carb off, check the carb before we go do anything else. I've checked the oil, there is oil in it, so let me crack on with that. You don't really need to see me take the carb off and all the rest. Only 2 bolts and undo the slide. All pretty basic stuff. Well, carb's off. There is some crap in it, but I've seen a lot worse. So we'll check the jets, see if they're clear or not. Yeah, there's some gunge in there. We'll get that cleaned out. Well, that jet was blocked. I've bared back some wire here and used that. I managed to clear it. There we go, it's gone all the way through. We'll have a look at the other one now. Well, that went surprisingly easily. It's pretty clean. There is a little bit of dirt that was down here, which I've cleaned out. I've stripped the carb down, it all looks pretty good. I've cleaned the jets, they're clear now, they was blocked. So I'm quite happy with that. We'll get it put back together and see if we can get fuel. I'll put fresh fuel in it now. This is what come out, and it stinks, it really does stink, stale. Looks like the morning sample. Right, pretty basic. Stick it back together and see what happens. We've got spark. If we can have fuel, let's see what happens, see if it will go. Right, give me a second, put this back together. Right, put the carburetor back on, and we've got a problem. There's no fuel actually flowing into the carburetor. Now, was this the reason why it was just parked up and abandoned? No idea. But when I loosened this off, this screw here, the other screw there, with the drain open, all of a sudden it was getting fuel through there and started draining out. Tightened it back up, kicked it, she fired up and then stopped again. Now I'm just curious if the gasket in here is actually incorrect. Have they put it in upside down or wrong way round? Because as soon as I loosen it off, the carb bowl starts filling. So I'm going to have the carb off again and check whether the fuel can run through. It's a bit of a strange setup on these carbs. Anyway, I'm going to have it back off again and see what happens. Now this is really piquing my interest of what's going on in here. Let's see if my theory's right. Let's get this carb back off. Well, it's all apart again, and I can't see nothing wrong with it. It's right there. It's flowing from there into there. I don't know what's going on. The actual bowl's full at the minute as well. Right, we'll put it back together again. We've checked everything and see what happens again. Well, got it ticking over. We've still got a problem with this carb. As soon as I tighten up on that, it won't let the fuel flow. I've got it just loose enough and it's working. Don't understand what's going on. But at least it's running after all these years. Right. It's a little bit smoky, but maybe it's the rings are a little bit seized. And we'll just let her warm up, turn her off, warm her up, turn her off. That's how it goes. But yeah, I'm really pleased at the minute with it. And we have horn. We have brake lights. Oh, wiring. At least they ain't got to mess around with that. And I think you have to turn the key one more time to put the lights on. Well, I'm just going to leave it for a minute just to do what it's got to do. Right, got the test pilot. I'm going to see if we've got gears and all the rest now. So I'll have to wheel it out. Just hope it don't run out of fuel. installed it. Yeah. Got a gear and it's moving on its own steam. Ooh. Get run over here. I know it's my test track. Right, it's going. It's bound to want a bit of fettling around, but it ain't run for so many years. Right, happy with that. At least it moves. Ooh. Okay, it's fucking sorted. There you go. Job done, she's a runner. So, what have I done? I've ended up, when I bought that one, the carb was knackered, but I kept it. Now, took that bit off and mackled one carb out the two. This one here, this bowl here, got araldite and all the rest in. Now, I've used the bowl off this one, put it onto the old carb, and it's cured it. I just don't understand why the fuel wouldn't flow before. But now, as you can see, it's fine. Well, I'm lost on that one. But now, we can start playing around with other things on it. We have a horn, like I said, brake light, got no headlights at the minute. I don't know if the bulb's gone or what. Got another button up here, don't know what that does. Got this one here. So, as you can see, it's running sweet now. It's not cutting out. I think we cured the problem, and I think the biggest problem was the carburetor on it, and that's probably why they give up with it. Right, let me have another play about. Well, as if by magic, we have headlight working. It's really unusual though. I ain't ripping wiring out of everything. Yeah, that's working. And tail light's working as well. I reckon we could go for a ride on it, really. Yeah. And she's ticking over lovely. all that hassle for that carb. Well, I'm gonna have a play around again, see what else we can get. Right, now we've got all that going, I think the next job I want to do on it is an oil change. I have no idea what the oil's like in it, so we'll drop the oil out of it, which means I'm going to have to go for a ride and get some oil. So I'll start again tomorrow on it. Well, blood transfusion's on its way. Dump the oil out of it. We'll fill it back up with oil, see if it can only help. Right, we're on day 2 of this one. I've just got everything out. Now I want to know if this fix has worked or not. So, it's stone cold, it's not been started. So we're going to stick the choke on and switch it on and see what happens. Right, we're on. Fingers crossed. There we go. Bit of smoke. So happy. Right, gonna give it a little go now. Now I think we've sorted the carb out. Whoa, Tom. We'll see how it performs today. No, it's not running out of fuel. I've been looking at the other carb. I'm sure there should be a vent. Oh, there he comes. There you go. Yeah, it was as if it's airlocked on that carb. I'm not really sure. I'll investigate more. But I'm just happy the way it's going at the minute. He looks like he's having fun. Thinking about putting, because the tyres are about knackered on it, they're all dry rotted. I'll show you in a second. Right, let's drag him in. Right, dragged him in. Tom, show him that back tyre. Yeah, I think we definitely need some tyres on it, and I'm thinking about going white wall. Then that'll look pretty cool on it. Well, being a bit of a hoarder, been rooting through some boxes and come up with this. Was broken, spark plug cap. So in amongst the stuff, I found another one. So that's gone on. Now with this kickstart, as you can see, it only goes to there. It's probably because that's not the correct exhaust. It might be the right kickstart, but it's a pain up the arse, as you can see. So when I was rooting through the stash, I found another kickstart, which might be more appropriate for just at the minute, and a headlight, which chrome's a lot better on. So maybe get round to it, we'll drop that on. But first things first, let's try this kickstart. Well, that looks a bit better than what it did. At least you'll be able to put your foot on the footrest without that in the way. So I'm happy with that. What I really need is a centre stand, because whoever messed with this before has just bodged up some sort of side stand. Now I'm hoping I can find a centre stand from somewhere and get rid of that. At least it will sit better to work on. I might leave that one with me, see what I can come up with. Right, I thought I'd have the headlight out and have a little nose in there. I've pulled this out, there's no bulb on that, so we wouldn't know if the light thing was working. I found a black wire here that's going nowhere, so I'm curious to see if that's a live feed or what it is. So I'll have the tester on that, I'll have a route round, get a bulb in there, find out if that works on the high beam, or if the high beam actually works. I know the low beam's coming on, or one beam, but we'll plug that in, see what happens. Well, poking around, found another one. This must be to light up the actual, illuminate the clocks. So that one's got no bulb in either. So back in the box of bits, as you can see, loads of different bulbs you have to keep. So we'll have another bulb out of here. I'm forever fetching them down by the box now. Right, we'll drop that in there, but I still don't know where that black wire goes. It's not on earth. I've just tried testing for an earth, it's not that, so not sure. We'll get this bulb in, start it up and see if we get any lights coming on it. Okay, started her up, just letting her warm up a little bit. Now on these you have to turn the key again, and yeah, it looks like a bit of a dodgy switch on it. Right, that's on, headlights on. Yeah, dodgy switch. Yeah, I'm messing with the switch down here. Right, we've got it working there. We don't seem to have. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to play around here. That's gone off again. Something to do with this switch. As you can see. Oh, that's on. But we have no other bulb lighting up. That's working by the looks of it. But this bulb isn't lighting up. Maybe it needs to be earthed. Yeah, I bet that's got to be earthed. Right then, let me knock it off and have a play again. Okay, looking in there, and that will act as the earth. I've just tried it. There you go. So that bulb, wherever it's hanging, must earth through the clocks. So I'll clean that up a bit. We'll stick it in and see if it lights up. Well, it all worked. Just for a couple of seconds, and then pop, it went off. So we'll stick another bulb in to see if this one was a bit dodgy, and try again. Well, we've got it this time. It's on, and in there you can see the lights on. The question is, will it blow when I rev it up? Oh no, it didn't blow. Click the switch, switches it off. The other side of the light's still on down there. Comes back on. Hopefully that's cured it. While I was messing around in there, had it running, I tested this black wire. There's no power coming out of it, and it's not going to earth. So it's probably just doesn't do anything. So I've just taped it up and we'll stick it back in there out the way. Right then, we have a little red light, we have headlight, switch that over, job done. That's working now. Okay, we've had a little play with it and it's running. We've got lights working, things like that. We need parts. We need tyres, we need the bits for the airbox. Although I've ordered an airbox, we need the internals for it. I've got to make a decision on what I'm going to do, and I've made a decision. I'm going to strip it completely down. It deserves it. It's 52 years old and I'd like it to look really nice. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish off a couple of other bikes and then just totally concentrate on this. My nephew's just been good as gold and he's bought me that. Now this is going to all go in there. So in the next month, hopefully, once I finish the other bikes, this is going to be totally stripped and done. It'll give me a chance to get some other parts together. So, hello cat. I don't know who you are. Anyway, keep watching and we'll strip it down, we'll video what we're doing. And what should we do? I want to strip this engine down as well and check that out totally. So it'll make a good interesting video, or a few, doing this. I've wanted to do one since the last one, so keep watching and watch what happens with it. I'm down, I'm gone.